Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Angie Stewart from MIA InnerLight, here live in Kardec Radio. Welcome to this study. So tonight we will continue the study of this beautiful book, Among Brothers of Other Lands. We studied this book for 45, 50 minutes, and then the final portion we studied this book, The Gospel According to Spiritism. So if you are new, let me change this thing here so I can actually see whenever someone writes. Hello, Saul, how are you doing? Nice to see you here. So if you're new to the show, I always like to tell everybody to have a bottle of water, because in Spiritism, we believe the enlightened spirits, they can place our medication through the positive energy in our water. So you can have your bottle or your cup, and when it's finishing, you can put more water, you do a prayer, and will be more medication throughout the week. And in this time of COVID, we all need any type of medication. And if it's from the enlightened spirits, it's even better. So please do it. And today we have a guest that will be doing our final prayer, as we have been doing for the past few months. So we have today our friend Leandro Araujo. Hello, Leandro.
Hello, guys. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here.
Very good. Very, very, very happy to have you here. Leandro is my old friend from when we both... Okay, I'm your old friend. When we both lived in New York. So he's the one who decided to come to Miami, and he was like, come on, Angie, let's go. I don't remember how many years took me to finally decide.
Well, first from Brooklyn to Jersey City, and from Jersey City to Florida.
Oh my God, yes. I have been following you. Yes.
So I'm not moving. I'm going to be staying here, okay?
Yeah, it's better. It's better for me. Very good. So I'm super happy to have Leandro here. He's a spiritist for, I don't know, you're born spiritist, or how was it?
Third generation, actually.
Wow, my goodness, look at that. Yes, that's awesome.
We've been always in contact with Spiritism. Thank
goodness.
Wow,
that's very good. I'm kind of new. I only discovered after I got married to Bobby. So I always tell my husband, I became spiritist because of you, American Protestant. Yeah, life is crazy. Life is crazy.
Things happen.
So welcome everybody. Hello, Paul. I'm seeing you a few times here. That's awesome. I'm very happy you are returning. Mark, Carlos. Hello, Nora. Nice to have you here too. So my friends, our friends are going to start arriving, and I always like to start with a very short prayer to connect us all in the study. So just try to connect, close your eyes. You have this bright screen in front of you, so close your eyes to relax your brain and your spirit. God, our Mother and Father, thank you so much for bringing us here again tonight to this study at this moment. While our other friends are arriving, we ask you to guide us, to calm us down, to connect our thoughts with Master Jesus, with all the spirits that want to help us to improve. We ask you to enlighten our thoughts so we will be able to understand what is going to be said. We will be able to ask pertinent questions, but most of all, we will be able to put the study of today in our daily lives. Please stay with us, guiding and inspiring. Thank you, so be it. Very good, my friend. I have always to focus on time because I talk too much, and the poor gospel, I can never dedicate the 10-15 minutes because I talk forever. So I will see you in a few minutes, Leandro. Bye. Very good, my friends. So if you are new, we start with Among Brothers of Other Lands, and today is chapter 37. I always read the full chapter. It's a very short chapter. It's just a page and a half. So I read it, and then we can make comments, and you guys can ask questions. I will be happy to be able to talk and to read your questions or your comments, okay? So let's go. So the title is Life After Life. So the spirit is the spirit Anderson. As I mentioned, the second portion of this book only has messages of two spirits, Anderson and Ernest O'Brien. And these two spirits, they really worked very hard to not talk about themselves. So I really don't know who they were while they were living on Earth, but their messages are very beautiful, very, very short and very powerful. So let's read this one. And the medium of this one is Waldo Vieira. So, life after life. Not all persons are given the wisdom, but all do have their gift to testify through our daily experiences the love to each other. In truth, our social condition, color or race, age or nationality do not prevent us from the duty to serve. We are challenged to do good things at all times. God is love. Nobody is all good and nobody is all bad. Each of us is self-centered on a course of development to reach a higher plane of activities. God has enshrined his divine attributes within us. As one goes higher, evolution is expressed by word, equilibrium, love, and light. Let us be progressive with Jesus. How can we do this? Service first is the answer. Spiritual refinement is man's soul experience, life after life, over and over again. Our present awareness extends over an extended period of the past. The area of experience varies man to man. Each man only exists in the place for which he has fitted himself. Nobody can evade that which is in his own consciousness. Actually, there is no death. As we live in our earthly body, our life continues in the beyond, according to our thought. Therefore, we come back to the physical world through rebirth to conquer perfection till we get complete command of our impulses and the functions. Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. Jesus, by John 3:7. This message was written in July 7, 1965, in New York City, New York, United States. Beautiful message, very short and very powerful. So as you can see, life after life, he's actually talking about the reincarnation, because we all know we are eternal spirits. We all know in Spiritism that this physical body will die, and then the spirit will be free and will be in the spiritual realm, studying, working, improving. And when it's enough, prepared, feeling stronger, we'll come back again for another opportunity to continue our process of evolution. We are always evolving. always evolving. Even if Chico Xavier mentioned there are a very, very small portion of spirits that he said they are the lazy spirits. We never digress. But there is these ones that they evolved so little that it doesn't even look like they made any type of evolvement. So let's not be this type. We really have to work, we have to sweat, we have to make our effort so we can do at least a little bit, because many times we think we are doing so well, we think we really are completing our program of evolution, but many times we have no idea that we ask like 10 items to be completed, and we are almost in the end of our lives and we only completed one, or this one is not even finalized yet. So it's not easy. The spirits say that when we are in the spiritual realm, we really feel like empowered and we feel strong and we imagine things will be much easier for us to accomplish when we come to Earth. But then when we come to Earth, we face so many things and we are weak. We are not so strong as when we are in the spiritual realm. And then we end up succumbing to lots of temptations, and we cannot resist to many of the problems we asked to face. So not easy. So let me just say here. Oh, yes. So very good, Paul. So you are the Canadian regular. That's very good. Welcome, Canada. That's very good. So Mark. Oh, Mark, you are from California. Very nice. So what time is there right now? California. I'm so bad with time zones. Very, very nice. I'm happy to have you here too. And we also have our Teresa Castro, our regular forever. Since I started, I didn't even start on Facebook. We were in Skype, in Blue Jeans. My goodness, 3 years ago when I just moved from New York to Miami, we immediately started doing it. This was very good. So Mark said it's 6:13. Oh, very good. You are 3 hours earlier. That's awesome. So guys, we just read this text about the reincarnation. Please feel free to put your comments, your doubts, what you think about it. But while you are writing, I'm going to start dissecting. Do I say this correct? Dissecting the text. Dissecting is when the doctors, they open the bodies of, they are opening little by little to analyze, to study. So you go little by little. And that's how I want to do with this message. So he starts, especially because it's so short, it's so short. It's 9:15, so I think I have time to dissect. But I really would like to stop at 9:45. So if any of you could tell me, Angie, it's 9:45, that would be great. So we have 15 minutes to study the gospel. So let's go with the message of Anderson. So he starts, not all persons are given the wisdom, but all do have the gift to testify through our daily experiences, the love to each other. So wisdom is this mix of intelligence with morality, is when a person is wise. Does not necessarily the person is intelligent, but the person is bright to see things that maybe the majority of the people cannot see. But then he says not everybody that has this gift to be wise, but everybody has the gift to testify through our daily experiences, the love to each other. So our daily experiences, that's what we say, that the older people, they lived longer, they have more experience. My mother used to tell me all the time, she loved to tell me, younger teenager was always involved in some kind of confusion. So she used to tell me, Angela, whenever you were going, I was already coming back from the same place. Meaning she already did that. She know the consequences, and she was there to tell me why not to do it. So this is the what it means. Our daily experiences make us wiser. So we experience something that's not good, and we see someone doing the same. We usually try to say, listen, maybe it wouldn't be good to do that because I did, and for me it was like this, this, and this. Of course, we are all different, and maybe something didn't work for you, maybe it will work for the other person. But if something is negative, then we already know the consequences, and we have to try to help the other. But we cannot impose anything on anyone. Exactly like our guardian angels. They tell us, they are like gossiping in our ears all the time. Don't do it, please don't do it. This is not good. Don't follow that person. Don't do this. But we are the ones who have to learn. We are the ones who have to exercise our free will. Yes, free will. And sometimes the enlightened spirits, they tell us so many times, they help us with other people. They put other people in our way, so they also can remind us of not doing it. But when we have our mind set to do something, we will end up doing. But that's why we have reincarnation. Reincarnation is when we had a period of life, probably around 100 years, to do certain things. From these certain things, we might have done some of these things and might have done correct or not. If we didn't do it correct, if we didn't pass the tests that we actually set up for ourselves, we will have another opportunity. Of course, our guardian angels, as good teachers, because they are always spirits that are more enlightened than us. Because to guard us, they have to know better. So they have to have experience. So one day we will be guardian angels. We will be the ones telling the others, no, don't do it. And then we will also experience frustration. Yes, because we will be like, why are you doing this? You're going to hurt yourself. Don't do it. But the person will not listen. And as a loving spirit, you have to say, okay, don't worry. We are going to continue helping you. And we hope you're going to be able to listen to us. And how can we listen to our guardian angels? How? Usually when we are doing fine, I always like to show the line. So when we are doing fine in life like this, nothing bad, nothing fantastic happened, we are like this, we are more approachable. So they can give us ideas, they can come through dreams, and we are able to listen, we are able to follow. But sometimes when some problem happens and we drop, look, we go like to a basement of our minds, then we kind of disconnect because we get angry, we get frustrated, we get some kind of very negative feeling. So all these negative energies, here is very negative, and we connect. So whatever is he connect with us, and we don't open up to our guardian angels who are much higher, and they are trying to reach, but we need to make our efforts to connect. So it's very important whenever we feel we are in this abyss to stop and do a prayer, connect with the enlightened spirits. And sometimes we are not going to even be able to connect with them, but we are going to do a prayer asking them to help us even to calm down, to calm our minds, our thoughts. Try not to be super negative so we can kind of start seeing things in a different way. And little by little, we start coming back, and then boom, they can connect and they can guide us. So this is important for us. Remember, every time something negative happens, let's pray, calm down. If you are able to do a meditation, I always like to say that when we pray, we talk to God. When we meditate, we listen the answer. So this is really nice. So let's continue. In truth, our social condition, color or race, age or nationality do not prevent us from the duty to serve. We are challenged to do good things at all times. God is love. So what it's saying here, our social condition, color, race, age, nationality, nothing of this matters, because we all have possibilities to do good to others, to serve others. And we are challenged to do good things at all times. So what we are challenged, we are tested. So many times certain things happen to us and we are tested to do something. And then you stop and you think, oh no, I can't do that because I don't have money. I can't help this person because I have no money. But maybe you actually don't need to have money. Maybe you can just let's imagine you can, like so many people nowadays, when a friend of someone is going through a difficult situation, they actually create a campaign to help this person through the neighborhood. And many times now they post in social media. So people that don't even know this person, they can feel compassion and they can help. Even if they help very, very little, imagine hundreds of people helping very little, it's already something. So we have to think that whatever is our situation, we can always do something, even if just a prayer, even if just saying, listen, let's pray with me. I can't do anything at this moment, but let's pray, because maybe you and myself, we will have some inspiration, some idea on how to get out of this situation. And then you do it. But of course, you have always to respect your friend. If your friend says, no, I don't want to listen to prayer, I don't believe in anything, I don't think this is good for me, I call just to say hello, it's okay. Don't force the person. Everyone has their own moments. Everyone has their own challenges. But it does not stop you from praying for this person. Because if you really like this friend, and this friend even answered that, is because he or she needs even more prayers. But a lot of people, when they are going through a tough time in their lives, their minds switch, and then they start thinking that the God or whatever is the religion they used to follow or to believe, they start thinking that everything changed and God now hates him or her, and that's why they are suffering. But this is not true. This is because how they are feeling. So if we pray for them, it will calm them down. And maybe they will even change. They will even say, oh, I'm so sorry that I told you this, but I'm not going through a good time. My life is very difficult. But you prayed for him. So maybe your prayer actually helped him to calm down and stopped him from doing something even worse. So this is what happened to us. We are challenged every day to do something. So anytime you see something or a friend asks you for some kind of help, don't say, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. I'm worse than you. You might be worse than that person in certain things, but if he or she is asking for your help, it's because he sees you have something that he might not have it. And I'm not talking about the financial. I'm talking about anything. So let's always do something. So nobody is all good and nobody is all bad. Each of us is self-centered on a course of development to reach a higher plane of activity. So this nobody's all good and nobody's all bad really reminds me that little symbol. I don't really know how to say in English. It's yin or yang, I think. But it's a symbol that's black and has a little dot in white and has another side that's white with a little dot that's black. So that symbol is beautiful. that it really reminds us that there is not absolute evil, because even when we think somebody is really nasty and mean, there is a source of goodness there. And also the goodness, somebody that's absolutely good, there is some kind of source of negativity. But when the majority is brightness, is goodness, is because that person already overcame the negativity. That person already controls her negative side. And when the other side is still having a hard time working on it. So all good, yin and yang. Yeah, very good, very good. So that's a beautiful, beautiful symbol. I always like to analyze with this text. My God, I wrote so much here. You guys have no idea. Look how much I wrote. You see, every time I study, I like to write a lot, put all kinds of thoughts and connections. And let me tell you a curiosity. When I was very young in Brazil, I was in high school. Everything was very expensive. My parents were going through a hard time. But then I discovered the paradise of used books in downtown of Rio. That was heaven. You guys have no idea. I was in heaven. So I discovered so many, I don't know how to say in English. In Portuguese was sebo, used bookstores. And imagine if a book was like, in Brazil, books are expensive. Here, they are usually very cheap, like $10. They are very cheap. In Brazil, they are very expensive. And I remember going to a place and finding books that used to be like $50. Let's imagine a number. And for 10. So I was like in paradise. And many times the books were cheap because they were all written. And then I remember the guy looking and saying, "Did you see this? It's all written. Look at this. Did you see that?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I see it, but I like it." And the guy was like, "Oh, this girl has some kind of mental problem." And I said, "I like to see the thoughts of the others." And he was like, "Aha." And this reminds me of this. I used to write in a different color so I could compare my thoughts to the thoughts of that person, how that person connected the ideas. Well, yes, I guess that's why I did law school, because I loved reading and writing. I loved it. So let's go. God has entered. No, sorry. God has enshrined his divine attributes within us. So God has put inside of us his divine attributes. As one goes higher, evolution is expressed by word, equilibrium, love, and light. So as one goes higher, as a person evolves, goes towards the light, is brighter. So as we start going through our lives, going through our reincarnations, we start evolving, then we start our process of evolution by word, equilibrium, love, and light. So life will not be black or white, but we will be more in balance. We are not going to be in extremes with everything. So this is the good thing. So this is good. Wow, it's so good one day when a horrible thing happens and we're like, okay, that's fine. We can go on, no problem. I look forward this. I'm telling you, I look forward this, because I'm not like that. I'm here telling you, let's do it. But whenever happens, I'm a human being and I'm still far from my process of evolution. But I already know how I should behave. It doesn't mean that at that moment I will behave like that, but I know how I should behave. So if I'm able to calm down, I will be able to calm down, Angela, that's not good for you. And I will listen to my guardian angel probably trying to remove my ear. And I will oh, okay. And I will hopefully I will calm down. Because one day this will be the nature of everybody. That's why the spirits tell us that soon the earth will be so much better. because all these horrible feelings that we have nowadays, so much hatred, all these natural disasters also, they will not need to happen anymore. So we will live in a much more balanced life. I didn't even read what my friends wrote here, so let's see. Me too. So Saul said, me too. I like paper books. Yes, guys, you have no idea. I bought an iPad and I never used. I bought an iPad just to read books. I downloaded like hundreds of books, and then I couldn't get used to it because look the mess I do. I write too much, and then I remember I had the highlighter. I even had an app to highlight and write. Nah, I didn't like. So I'm old fashioned. You know, I'm old. What can I do? But my son, everything is iPad. It's like they don't even understand. So what Nora said, I think because I worked at a library for many years, I have such a hard time writing on the books. So cool, you are able to write on the books. Oh my God, can you believe in the past I thought about working in a library because I didn't really have much money to buy books, and I was just thinking, my goodness, I work in a library's paradise. Was that silent? I could have lots of books. Yeah, it would be a problem because I would want to write on them. So let's continue. Let us be progressive with Jesus. How can we do this? And the answer is service first. So what is progressive with Jesus? Progressive with Jesus is really let's work with Jesus. Let's work for Jesus. And how we do that? Service first. So service means working towards the betterment of somebody else, not just ours. When we are on earth, we have this tendency to work in our betterment. It's me, my family, and then after my family, my close friends, and maybe somebody else. That's how we think. But we know that that's not how it should be. We should really think about the others. Because when we help others, we also benefit. I posted a video. I think I posted on Facebook too. It's such a beautiful video. If you guys can, please go to the Facebook of MIA InnerLight and you will see this video of these little kids. They are so adorable. They are from low-income families and they are brought to this experiment. So the people ask all of them, what would you like to get for Christmas? And then they say whatever they want. And what you would like your parents to get for Christmas? And then they say, oh, my mom this, my dad that, whatever. And then they bring the gifts. So they bring the gifts and they show them whatever they ask. So a girl asked for a Barbie doll and she asked for a ring for her mom. And then she's like, marvelous. She's like, oh my God, it's paradise. And then they say, okay, now you have to answer this. You only can have one gift. Which gift are you going to take? For yourself or for your mom? And all the kids are like, my God, guys, you have no idea. The way I'm describing, yeah, it sounds cool, but you really need to see the video. I was crying so much, because all the kids they show to us chose the gifts to the parents. And then the reasons they gave why they were choosing to the parents, you have to watch. So you have to go there and see the video. But I was crying so much because those kids, they really value their parents. My God, that was so amazing. I was so touched, so deeply touched, because how beautiful is that? So if you have a child, if you have a nephew, if you have someone that you take care, they will recognize and they will demonstrate. And I was like, just like, my goodness. So these mothers and fathers, they work so hard to these kids. And the kids recognize it. They really saw it. They saw how much they love them. So this is also working with Jesus, for Jesus, taking care of our own children. So the spiritual refinance is man's soul experience. Life after life, reincarnation, over and over again. Our present awareness extends over an extended period of the past. So this is our opportunities. As I said before, we life after life, we work very hard. We are able to evolve in many things. We die, we come back. Of course, the process of dying is difficult. It's difficult for us. It's difficult for our loved ones that stay. It's very hard. Today, I also saw a video that a cousin sent me. It's a nun, and she is 109 years old. I was just like, what? Really? 109, and she has everything in her mind. She was talking without stopping. It's me at 109, but she was absolutely healthy. People arrive in their 80s, they are already like weak. They're already having all kinds of diseases and issues, physical issues. And she was like, she had nothing. It was like Divaldo Franco. If you know the medium, Divaldo Franco, he is 93 years old. And his memory is something that it's like, oh, it's like unbelievable. And it's a blessing. So if we all could reach to an older age in this situation, so healthy, so good, it's a blessing. But the majority, that's not what happens. And for many different reasons, some of us have to return earlier and others stay longer. But we never know why that person had to return earlier. But whenever this happens, it's very painful. It's very difficult. So right now that we are living in COVID time, that so many people are dying, it's very, very painful. It's very difficult. We know that nobody dies if it's not their time, if they are not exposing themselves. You have to understand the difference. Like if you expose yourself, like for example, people that love adrenaline, they love adrenaline, so they do these crazy things. They ride a bicycle on the top of a mountain, really, really on the edge of whatever. At any second, a little mistake will cause them death. They are exposing themselves. So in this case, we can't say that was their time, because might not be. They actually killed themselves unintentionally. Yes, unintentionally. But when they wake up in the other side, they will be received as suicidals. This is very tough. So whenever I see these videos on the internet, I get and I just think about the poor mothers that many times are home and don't even know the crazy things their kids are doing. So God help us. Whenever you guys have kids, you will understand how tough it is. I'm trying to focus on the time. So the area of experience varies from man to man. Each man only exists in the place for which he has fitted himself. So let me read again. Each man only exists in the place for which he has fitted himself. So we are not gonna be born in a place without a plan. We know that when we are going to be reincarnating, there is a lot of plan to be able to research on the country, on the family, who will be the parents, who this person is going to get married. If you saw the movie Nosso Lar, you understand that. You understand that many times a spirit has to reincarnate before, but it's already planned. that man will marry that woman. So she will reincarnate a little bit later. So they will in the future connect. So it's so beautiful. It's like, wow. So when we start to thinking, it's like, it is amazing how these things happen. But of course, many times when we reincarnate, we change our minds. Imagine you went, decided, agreeing to marry that man. But when you reincarnate, you decided not to do it. So you used your free will to change your destiny that was kind of set up. You have to understand that the reincarnatory plan does not pinpoint every single detail of your life. It's not like that. Don't think that every single little thing was decided before, because it's not. What is decided before are the major things in your life, the most important things. These are decided to help you, because these things are connected. So these things will happen, and you need that to connect with this, to connect with that. So these things will happen, but many things are not. Which neighborhood you're going to live, you're going to fight with your neighbor, you're going to do this. No, it's not meant to be like that. And you will be exercising your free will. So that man who was like coordinated to be your husband, to be your loving husband, to help you, you decided not to marry him. So it's okay. Your destiny will not be terribly affected, but you changed it. So now you might marry somebody else. You will have another husband that might not be the same one that we're going to be able to help you in the future, because certain things still will happen to you. So imagine a woman, she was going to get married to this man who was a very loving husband, and in the future she was going to have, I don't know, an accident, and she will have to be in a wheelchair for, I don't know, 6 months. And that husband was going to do everything to help her. But she chose not to marry him. She chose to marry another one. But the accident still will have to happen, because this is an atonement. Atonement are tests that we are things, the negative things that we imposed in somebody else in our past life, and we will have to go through it in order to be able to be free of it, to be able to evolve. So she will have to leave this, and her new husband, whenever it happened, he went crazy and he actually abandoned her. He divorced her. So she had a life much harder because of it. This is just an example of something that I am creating. So don't think which book was that. This is like an example, because we read so many books and there are so many stories, so many true stories, that we always think about the possibilities of things that could happen. Oh gosh, I need to finish. So let's go. Nobody can evade that which is in his own consciousness. Nobody can invade that which is in his own consciousness. Actually, there is no death. As we live in our earthly body, our life continues in the beyond according to our thought. This is beautiful. So that's what I mentioned before. We all know about reincarnation. So our body will die, but our spirit will be free and will continue the process of evolution. As I said, the death process is still painful. But we have to also see the movie Nosso Lar. When a person died on earth, everybody's crying, everybody's upset, everybody's missing. And there on the spiritual realm, everybody's super excited because that person is arriving. So, even if I am afraid of death, I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of the moment of death, if you can understand it. Because I know life will continue, so it's beautiful. But the moment of death, like, oh my God, I hope it's not going to be too painful. But when you think, okay, if I live here now, what will be? You know, and then think about your life. What do you will leave here that you did not complete? So this is very important. Think about what you haven't done on earth that if you die tomorrow would be really upsetting. Have you thought about that? So think about and the plan. I'm not telling you to plan for your death because it's morbid, but it's something good for the spirit. Because if you die suddenly and you start thinking, oh my God, I didn't do that, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, my son, my daughter, my whatever, you will be in a longer process of affliction. Will be longer for you, will be more difficult for you. But I also think, if I die now, who I'm going to meet there? And then think about all the people you loved that already left. Who are the people you love that are gone? I have a huge list. I remember when I was younger, I used to think, I don't have anyone that I really love that died. But nowadays, yes, I do. You start getting older. People that you really love, they start going. But this is good. This is also good. This is hope. It's wonderful to know, not to believe, to know that when I die, I will see the people that I love. Even if they are more elevated than me, like, for example, the André Luiz mother, she is much more elevated than André Luiz. So they are not in the same colony. She does not live in Nosso Lar. She lives much higher than that, but she's able to come to visit him. So all the elevated spirits, they can come to visit us. And if by any chance we are more elevated than somebody else, we can go there to visit. What connects us is love. But be careful, hatred also connects us. So try to immediately start your process of forgiveness. Try to start like being more peaceful. Contact the people that you really hatred and start thinking about your past, why you had the fight. Maybe you can contact, try to make amends, because this is very, very important. Try to make amends while still living here. When you go to the spiritual realm, the amends will be more difficult. You will probably need a reincarnation to come with your hatred as your wife, or as your daughter, or as your father. Can you imagine? So try to work on here. Try to work on here. Super, super important. Therefore, we come back to the physical world through rebirth to conquer perfection till we get complete command of our impulses and functions. Isn't that beautiful? When we contract, when we have this total control, exactly like I mentioned before, some disastrous things happen and you're like, okay, yes, that was bad. That's not good. Yeah, that's hard, but we are gonna go over it. We are gonna overcome. No problems. Let's breathe. Oh my God, I hope this day will come to me. I hope. I'm working. Let's hope. So the last sentence is from Jesus. It's very beautiful too. What time is it? Oh my God, 49. So marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. So yes, we all must be born again. That's the only way we can evolve. Beautiful, beautiful message. Let's move on. The Gospel according to Spiritism. We start in chapter 9. So blessed are the meek and peace-loving. So the first portion, it's so deep and profound that that's kind of difficult to summarize. But I really love the explanations are so deep. I will try to summarize. So it starts with the portion of insults and violence. So these are sentences from Jesus. Blessed are the meek. So meek are the docile, the people that are calmer. Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the earth. The second, blessed are the peace-loving, for they shall be called the children of God. And then the last one, the third one, you have learned what was said to the ancients. You shall not kill, and whoever kills shall deserve being condemned to judgment. But I say to you that whoever shows anger against his brother shall deserve being condemned to judgment. Whoever says to his brother, Raka, shall deserve to be condemned by the council, and whoever says to him, you fool, shall deserve being condemned to the fire of hell. So his last sentences are very strong, very powerful. So you can see Jesus was demonstrating to us this is really bad. So be careful. So then comes the explanation, beautiful explanation of Kardec. By these maxims, Jesus makes the meekness, or like the docile person, moderation, docility, affability, and the patience a law. So this is the law. We all should be like that. Consequently, he condemns violence, anger, and even any discourteous expression regarding another person. For example, when he mentions the word raka, so he have even the explanation that raka to the Hebrews is actually a word that means worthless person. And whenever they said raka, they also spit on the floor and they smash the foot on the floor. Wow, that was a powerful word with a physical demonstration showing to the person that I hate you. It's like, and also comes an explanation that many times our words, they follow with this energy. So whenever we say something good and we mean good, this goes with this loving energy. There is a beautiful short story of a Chico Xavier, the famous medium from Brazil. This particular day, he was late to go to work. So he was rushing. And then he saw an old lady that she was by her door waiting for him because he had to pass there to go to work. And she called him, Chico, Chico, come. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I'm too late. I have to run, I'm late. And then he continues. And then Emmanuel appears to him and said, Chico, go back. And then Chico, super obedient. That's why Chico is Chico and Angela is Angela. Chico goes back. Angela maybe would come back, but complaining like crazy. Chico returned, peace and love. Okay, how can I help you? She asked him something of a medication that he had prescribed to her. He explains, he tells her to do it. And then he finally goes back and he goes to work. And when he is a little bit far, Emmanuel appears again. And Emmanuel says, Chico, look back. And then Chico looked, he turned his head and he looked. And then she was saying words full of love. She was saying, Chico, I knew you would come back. You are just love. You are wonderful. And her words were accompanied with all these hearts. They were penetrating in Chico's physical body, like giving him more energy. So this is beautiful. But this word here also is the same. Haven't you ever felt angry that you, during your anger, you actually said something with such an impact that the person actually felt? Yes, unfortunately, sometimes we do it. And this really happens. Whenever someone says a word that's very negative and has this intention, this word follows with negative energy. So this is a part of the explanation why Jesus also said, never do this, never say things, because the words, they are connected with negativity. And this particular word, he even mentioned here that this word incentives hatred. This word connects with hatred. So this is something for us to think and not to do it. And then number 5, blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the earth. And then you think, how the meek are going to possess the earth? Because especially in the time of Jesus, 2,000 years ago, when the world was of the powerful, the rich, can you imagine that time? A Roman soldier just look at someone, kill him. No, that doesn't need any reason for that. Just kill him. So imagine nowadays, yes, we still have this type of thing, but it's much more different. Nowadays, it's much more controlled. We have laws to protect citizens, even if these horrible things still happen. Unfortunately, still happen. So this portion is very good too. So he only advised them not to attach more importance to the later than to the former. So who is the later? The things of earth. He's talking here. Let me read the other sentence for you guys. While waiting for the things of heaven, humans have need of things of earth in order to live. He only advised them not to attach more importance to the later, meaning the things of earth, than the former. The former are things of heaven. So it's very important for us to really connect with what we will take with us to the spiritual realm. We are not going to take with us any kind of physical possessions. We are not going to take a house, a car, a bag full of gold or money. We are not going to take this. But we will take whatever we learned in life, whatever we were able to improve. That's what we are going to take. I want to tell a story, but I have 3 minutes, so I can't tell the story. So by these words, I have to read this ending portion because it's so powerful that I don't want to summarize. By these words, Jesus means that up until now, the things of earth have been monopolized by the aggressive persons to the harm of those who are meek and peace-loving. So the aggressive are always beating up the peace-loving and the meek. Then the latter often lacks the necessities, while the former have the superfluous, meaning the aggressive have superfluous of everything and the meek lack of everything. Jesus, he promised that the justice will be rendered to the meek and peace-loving on earth as it is in heaven, meaning in heaven justice is done. On earth is not done yet, because on earth it is still like the same way. The aggressive, they are more powerful. But the justice will be done. And then, for they shall be called the children of God. When the law of love and charity is finally the law of humankind, there will be no more selfishness. The meek and peace-loving will no longer be exploited or crushed by the strong and aggressive. Such will be the state of the earth when, according to the law of progress and the promise of Jesus, it becomes a blessed world. It becomes a blessed world through the expulsion of these individuals. So as we know nowadays, the planet Earth is becoming the planet of regeneration. So we know that the spirits who are still connected with hatred, with negative things that are coming from the basements of Earth, they are coming from the lower zones to have the last opportunity of improving themselves. If they do not improve, they will be expelled from Earth, going to other planets that are inferior to Earth. So one day, exactly what Jesus said will happen on Earth, when we are all able to have more equilibrium of our impulses, and the meek will be the ones dominating the world, because there will be no more aggressive people. All the aggressive people will be better. So we'll be more balanced in this beautiful planet Earth. So his messages it's very powerful. And it's 10 o'clock. I cannot tell you the story, but if you remind me next time, I will tell you the story about the woman in a cave full of her jewelry. Okay, so let me know. So now we are gonna have our brother Leandro here to be able to do our final prayer. So Leandro, was a pleasure to have with us, and I hope you can participate many more times. So before I end, I just want to announce to all of you that in a month, we are going to be finishing Among Brothers of Other Lands. We are going to start our new book. And then when we start our new book, I will restart the gospel portion, always with 2 guests that will be helping me to make comments. So I think it will be very interesting. I will really have to shorten up the first portion, so we will be able to have these guests joining us. So if you want to participate, please let me know, and we can discuss about the future of MIA InnerLight. So, Leandro, my friend, this is yours.
Well, first of all, thank you. The message is always nice. And it seems 1 hour goes by like in 5 minutes. So we wish we have to listen to the story, to participate, to give some feedback. So maybe we can think of something in the future. But for now,
Awesome.
I just appreciate this. So let's elevate our thoughts now. Let's pay attention to our senses. Feel Jesus inside of us, in our thoughts, in our minds, in our actions. And thanks always our spirit guides that are always by our sides, helping us, guiding us. So Jesus, we ask you to protect us during these pandemic times, these times that we're going through, and we know there must be a cause for this, and we are learning from it day by day. So give us patience and understanding so we can learn from it and become better citizens as we come out of this situation. Let's also ask the spirit doctors to put in our waters all the medicines we need to cure our body, to give us strength. Let us envision our houses, our places that we work, and also embrace our families and pour upon them this bright light shining from above, bringing them peace and also health. Jesus, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and so be it.
So be it. Very good, my friend. Awesome. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, all of you guys. Thank you for your participation. We had Canada, California. We had our friends from Texas. We had very, very nice friends here. What is the other one? Someone mentioned here. I forgot where you were from. But anyway, thank you so much, all of you, being here with us. And I hope to see you all next Thursday. Thank you. Thank you, Leandro. See you soon.
Thank you. See you.
Bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.